Good evening, everybody. I just want to come on and make this video. The reason I'm coming on to make this video is because something happened to me. It's kind of a serious video, so I don't know if you have any kids. You don't want them to watch this unless it's something that you believe in and you don't mind your kids watching this. But this video is going to be about ghosts, spirits, and that sort of thing. I've had ghost encounters. I've had ghost encounters since I was a little girl. Back when I was probably 12 years old, maybe. I'm trying to think how old my little sister, how old she would have been. I probably would have been about 11 or 12. Me and her, we stayed the night at my grandma's house. And we were staying in my aunt's room. And it was in the middle of the night. And my aunt's closet was sealed. It was sealed shut. It was closed. Not sealed as in, sealed with tape. But it was closed. And we woke up because the sound of the door opening, the closet door actually opened. And we heard a bunch of like rustling around in there. And we hopped out of that bed faster than anything. And we went into the front room and told my grandma, "Grandma, there's a ghost in the closet." And she's like, "No, there's not. There's no ghost in the closet. You guys get back in your bed." So we went back to bed, and neither one of us could sleep the rest of the night. We were up. So that was, and I think when we went back in there, I think we pushed the door shut again, and I think the door opened again, and we heard the noise, but we kind of just like let the night go and waited until morning, and we were happy to get out of that dang bedroom. The next thing what had happened was when at this same house, we were afraid to go into the sorry, I gotta move myself. We were afraid to go into the basement. Because we knew that there was ghosts in this house. And we didn't like to go into the basement by ourselves. There always had to be two of us going to the basement to play pool or whatnot, whatever we used to do down there. We used to play down there all the time. Probably when I was 14 or 15, I was down in the basement all by myself. And my grandma had this closet where she kept all her Christmas stuff in, all her Christmas tree and ornaments and everything. And that door opened up on me, you guys. And I was like, when that door opened up, I put the pool stick down on the table and I ran upstairs. And I didn't go back downstairs. So, but that was that encounter. Scared the crap out of me because I was down there all by myself. And we always told ourselves, because I was at the point where I was older, and it's not that I didn't believe in ghosts. I thought, I'm older, what's the ghost going to do to me if there's a ghost down there? Well, it scared the crap out of me. So then nothing really ever happened to us. So I heard some of the stories about what had happened with my grandma. And my grandpa never wanted to believe her, ever. Never wanted to believe her. And she had stuff happen to her. When she would sit on the end of the couch, and she at one time had the whole end of the one couch lift up on her, and it freaked her out. I remember her telling my mom about this, you guys. And then trying to think of some of the other stuff that happened. Oh yeah, they had this radio that was in their kitchen, on their kitchen table. And it used to turn on all by itself when she'd be home. And one time, her and my grandpa went out. And they came home, and the TV was on. And they always turned the TV off, because my grandpa was like, "The TV's on." And my grandma was like, "That's weird," because, they always turned the TV off when they left. And on the same particular day, they went into the kitchen because they heard music playing. And the radio that was on the kitchen table was playing music. And to all of you that are my age or maybe a little bit younger, I'm sure you remember the radios that had the cassette tapes that you could put in there and listen to the cassette tapes. Well, the door of the cassette tape door was open. And my grandma pushed it shut, and she turned the radio off, and the radio turned back on again. And my grandpa at this time, I think maybe kind of thought maybe there are ghosts or didn't know or whatever. Now, I don't know if it was before this or after this, my grandma, she she wanted to let my grandfather know that there were ghosts in this house, so she did something to make him believe that there was ghosts in the house. What she did was he went into the bathroom to take a shower, and when he went to go out of the bathroom, she knew he was getting close to come out of the bathroom, so she went to the bathroom door and she held onto that doorknob really tight. I mean, she held onto it really tight. She was literally crawling onto the wall, her feet on the wall, so he couldn't get out. Well, he jiggled and jiggled the door, and then he went back. She could hear him kind of like walking back, because I guess this must have happened to her too. So she hurried up and she ran on the couch and just waited for him to come out, and not once did he say anything ever again about ghosts. So I'm thinking that he started to realize that maybe there was ghosts in the house. I don't remember all of the stories that was told to me, but those are the ones that stick out to me. So now getting on to my ghost story. My first real encounter was, I had more, than encounters before this. But when I was about 17, I'm thinking 16 or 17, my grandfather had this radio in his front room, or in his living, and in his bedroom. And it was one of those police scanner radios. It was a police scanner, it was a radio, and it was an alarm clock all in one. It was a really nice radio. And he always liked to listen to it for the scanner and, just to have the clock on there. Well, I guess the police scanner part didn't work anymore. Something didn't work on it. But he said that the alarm clock still worked, and he knew I needed an alarm clock. So we were there at their house one day, and I took the alarm clock home. I took the clock home. And I took it upstairs where my bedroom was. Well, when I went upstairs, not thinking anything of this, not thinking anything of ghosts or spirits or anything, I went to go turn the light on. Well, when I turned the light on, the light blew. And I was like, okay, and I didn't think anything of it. So I went downstairs, got another light bulb, went upstairs, put the light bulb in, and as I was putting the light bulb in, the light went zzz, and it didn't shock me or anything, but it blew. It blew right then and there. And it was starting to get dark, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take the radio downstairs right now. I was getting ready for bed. And so I went downstairs, and I got literally the last light bulb that was in the room. So I went upstairs, I put the light in, and everything was fine. And I was like, okay, cool. So I thought, well, I'll just have my mom wake me up in the morning. So, because I was working at this time. I think I was working at McDonald's or something. So, the next day, now get this. My mom and dad never, ever shut their door to their bedroom. They never did. Even, when we were kids and growing up. They never shut their bedroom door. So I went in the kitchen, and I see my mom was in there, and I said, who's in the bedroom? I thought maybe my younger sister was, because they had a waterbed, and she liked to lay on it because, when you get cramps or something, whatever, you like to lay on the hot, warm waterbed. And she said, well, nobody is. So I was like, well, that's weird. I told her, I said, your bedroom door is fully shut. And she was like, that's weird. She goes, just go open it. Well, I went in, I knocked on the door at first, thinking somebody was in there. And I opened the door. And when I opened the door, their waterbed started swaying. And from the top part of the bed to the bottom part of the bed rolled a tennis ball. And the ball hit the radio. And I looked at the radio, and it dawned on me, you guys. It dawned on me. I'm like, oh, my God, this radio, it's got something attached to it. I'm getting rid of it, So got rid of it. Nothing happened after that. I was like, cool. So that happened there. And then another thing that had happened was when I was with my ex-husband. I was in my my office, and when you walked in the door of my office, my computer was in the far right corner of the bedroom. So when you walk by the room, you could see me, working on the computer and everything. So I'm on the computer one day, and there is, my ex-husband had this picture. It was a glass frame picture. It was of a ship. Beautiful, beautiful picture. I can't even remember what the picture, what ship it was, but it was an old ship. So, getting to the real story here. I'm sitting there, and I seen him walk by through the picture. I could see a shadow. So I said, hey, and I called his name out, and he didn't answer. So I called his name again, and he didn't answer. So I went into the bedroom, and I was like, why aren't you answering me? And there was nobody in there. So I'm like, well, that's weird. So I went downstairs because, I was upstairs, and we had downstairs it was in our condo, by the way. And I went downstairs, and there he was laying on the couch. He was out cold. He was sleeping. So I was like, okay, so who was that went by in the mirror? Well, when it comes to dates, I remember a lot, you guys. I'm really good when it comes to dates and numbers. That's my OCD. On 8/8/08 was when I finally thought to myself, I need to be out of this relationship. This was like 3 years before I left him. And this was when this was a ghost. I know it was. And I think it was the ghost of my grandma, because on that particular day, I could smell my grandma. I could smell my grandma, my dad's mom. I could smell her. And I never thought anything of it. Well, we got into a big fight that day, a really big fight. And I remember because it was 8/8/08, and it was 2 days prior to that, a white cat started coming around that had lived on one of the roads there. The owner had moved out and let the cat roam. So my ex-husband's mom and dad took the cat in, and they still have the cat, I'm sure, to this day. I mean, this was 9 years ago. Wow, I can't believe it's already been 9 years. But anyways, 2 days prior to this, a lot of weird stuff, just like the white cat made an appearance, and white cats are heavenly, and I just had a bunch of other weird stuff that was going on, a lot of weird stuff happening, and I think it was my grandparents or my, them up there telling me, hey, Hope, it's time to go, but I didn't listen. It took me 3 years to finally leave that relationship. But I think that's when it all started happening, was telling me that it's time to go. It's time to, the relationship is dead. Let's move on with life. But I always believed him, and him saying that my family didn't care about me. So I thought to myself, where else can I go? Where else am I going to go? My family doesn't, evidently all these years they never talked to me, so they don't want to have anything to do with me. Well, that was quite the opposite. When my sister came and got me, she said that's quite the opposite. She said that we all loved you, and we were ready to come and take you away one day. And I wish they would have. But anyways, getting back onto the ghost story, and all that. I kept having a lot of weird things that were happening in those 3 years. I kept smelling my grandma. I kept having dreams of my Uncle Phil. I'm like, I dream. Don't get me wrong, I do dream, and I do have some weird dreams, and you guys know that. I've posted on here about dreams and premonitions. I don't know if I've ever really said about all my dreams, but I just started having a lot of weird stuff going on, and it just pointed me in the direction of, okay, it's time to go. Well, now we're into moving back in with my parents before I had moved on with my new life here. I was sitting at the computer table at my mom and dad's house. I was on the computer, and I was thinking of my grandma, my mom's mom, and I just started crying because I had missed her. And right in here, it felt like somebody had pulled my hair and it was playing with it. And I kind of freaked out, you guys. I was like, okay, so I got up from the chair, and I walked into my mom and dad's bedroom because she was in there reading. And I wanted to see if she was awake, because sometimes she would fall asleep reading. And I told my mom, I said, I think I was just encountered by somebody. And I told her what happened. And she said it was probably my grandma, because her ashes, my other grandma, my dad's mom, her ashes are in the house. So it might have been her spirit, you know, just trying to console me or whatever. I don't know. But that had happened to me. And then not the place that I was just living at, that I had moved out, but the place before that. I was sitting at the kitchen table one night, and it was a small kitchen, but it was a nice, you know, it was a nice kitchen. And the closet door was shut. It was pushed shut, and the closet door had opened. And I thought maybe, you know, that there was pressure on the coats or something, that the coats would, you know, open it up. But I looked inside, and there was nothing that would have put pressure on it. Well, anyways, I did this after the fact, and I was sitting at the table, and I was just minding my own business. It was either Thanksgiving or Christmas, I can't remember. And what had happened was, I had on my right leg, I felt like this cool sensation, like blowing on my leg. And I was like, wow. And this happened at the same exact time that the door had opened. So I kind of like pushed the door shut and, you know, just went on about my business. Didn't bother it. Ghosts don't bother me. They never have. What bothers me is when they come and they do some things that just surprise me, and then I just let it go. But a couple times I've had people play with my hair. I've been sitting on the couch. I've had, you know, something play with my hair. Never really bothered me. Well, back about 2 weeks ago when I moved in here, something tickled my foot. Now I was like, and I looked at my foot and I was like, well, there's nothing down by my foot. So I just let it go. Well, today it felt like something pulled my toe. And I was like, okay, there ain't nobody in here. There's nobody in here. So I thought, well, maybe, you know, it's just whatever. Well, I was talking to my nephew's wife today, and she said that she has stuff happen to her all the time. And she knows that there is an adult and there is a child in this house that have passed on probably. And stuff's happened to her. I'm not going to mention what happened to her because it's her personal. But I just want to let you know that it's happened to her. So, those are my ghost stories, you guys. So, I mean, it makes me who I am. I'm not afraid of ghosts. I'm not afraid of spirits because I know there's spirits all around us. There's ghosts all around us. And we have to live day to day and not let things bother us. And usually if ghosts and spirits are around us, they're around us for a reason. Maybe they're around us to check up on us to make sure that we're okay. I'm one of those type of people that believe that when we die, we die. That there's nothing there. I mean, we have a soul. We are born with a soul. We live with a soul. We die with a soul. And I think our souls sometimes are, you know, confused, or sometimes we don't want to believe that we're dead, and we just move on and we haunt people. I mean, I don't know. Or not really haunt people, but you know what I'm saying. We go around and we do things. But anyways, that's my video of the day, you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you guys have any ghost encounter stories that you would like to share with me, please below your stories. And if you want to hear anything else, give me a comment as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share this video, subscribe, and hit that bell next to the subscribe button so you can be notified the next time I place a video on. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next daily vlog. I love you. Bye.